Hello guys, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today we are taking a look at another Victorinox piece. This is the Alliance Sports Chronograph. I believe it's a new model for 2018. And obviously it's a chronograph with some cool features. And to get out of the way, the price point for this one is about $4.95 from the Victorinox website, which will be linked down in the description below. Now I previously did review the new Victorinox Inox automatic watch, which you can check out. It's actually the video, I believe, 2 videos back in my log you can check out. That was a really cool watch. This is kind of a different watch. We're using a chronograph movement, obviously. It's a way different design, some different finishing as well, and let's get into it. The exact model number is 241818 for this model, and it comes in a few different variations. There's like 5 different variations. I believe this is the only one with a blacked out case though, and I think this one's pretty cool. It kind of looks kind of, adventurous, foresty. And definitely a great addition to the Alliance line. They have a lot of watches in this line of the Alliance. Anyway, starting off with some basic specifications here. We are looking at a 44mm diameter. So yeah, it's quite a larger watch. Not super big, but it is 44mm. The thickness of the watch, we're looking at 11mm, which is incredibly thin, especially for a chronograph, which is really nice. So it's really slender on the wrist, it's flat on the wrist, and it does wear quite nice on the wrist. Now we do get that 21mm lug width, which does fit 22mm straps. We also do get a genuine sapphire crystal, of course. It does have anti-reflective coating, 3 layers of it, so even when the sun is in it right now, as you can see, you get a perfect view of it. The anti-reflective coating is always spot on from Victorinox. Now, this watch is a chronograph, but first let me show you the case. So the case is comprised of all 316L solid stainless steel. It is blacked out. The nice black finishing here. As you can see, it's pretty stealthy, this model. Definitely something to take on a hike or something like that, it looks like. But the finishing looks really good. There's no blemishes, nothing like that. Everything's pretty much immaculate on the finishing end. So that looks pretty good as well. Now the movement inside of this watch is the Ronda 5030D. It's a Swiss-made quartz chronograph movement. It has a 54-month battery life, which is really good. That's longer than 4 years. 12 months in a year times 4 years, that's 48. So this will last you longer than 4 years before you need to get a battery change, which is really incredible if you think about it. Anyway, getting to this dial, it's a gray dial if you didn't notice, and it's quite nice looking. We do have those large, quite bold and legible raised markers here with superluminova. We get your Victorinox shield logo typically at the 12 o'clock position, which does contain lume as well. So that lights up with all these markers, which looks pretty cool. We get fine minute markings in between the markers. And then we have our chronograph functions. Our date is tucked away between 4 and 5 with a white wheel and black numerals, which is definitely legible on this gray dial. So over at 3 we get our running seconds, 60 seconds here, which is pretty simple. Over at the 9 o'clock position, we do get our 30-minute counter, and then we get our 12-hour counter. So this is a 12-hour chronograph capable of timing 12 hours, which can be very useful in many situations. Now a nice touch on this watch is the tachymeter. As you can see, just like the Omega Speedmaster, we get a tachymeter reading here. And if you didn't notice, on the chapter ring, it does state 0 through 60 going around here, marked off with these thick red lines from 0 to 15, which I found quite interesting. I haven't seen that before. It's a nice little subtle touch there. I think it looks pretty good. Definitely fits the aesthetic of the timepiece. Now our crown located at 3 o'clock is pull and push, but the great thing about this watch, which I really like, is that it does have 10 ATMs or 100 meters of water resistance. So definitely safe to take in the pool, ocean, pretty much wherever you want to go. Unless you're going, professional diving, of course, probably want to throw on a dive watch. So the crown is pull and push, but we do have that water resistance, so I assume there's a pretty decent gasket inside of this crown here. Now the pushers themselves, as you can see, they are labeled start, stop, and reset. The crown itself is signed with the shield. And the pushers, I must say, they have a nice feel. Like they're very thin, but they're really easy to grip onto. And I'm going to go ahead and start the chronograph. There it goes. And everything lines up perfectly on this model, as you see. No overlapping on the seconds hand tick, which is good to see. Now a nice feature of this watch is the elapsed time. So if I hit the reset button at the bottom, it's going to stop. Now I'm going to wait 5 seconds or so, and you're going to see it's going to pick up where it would have been. You see, it went all the way ahead there. That's elapsed time if you want to measure that. It's always a nice feature to have. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop it and reset. There we go. Functioning this movement is as simple as ever. You're going to go ahead and pull the crown out one position, and we get a quick set date, which is pretty snappy there. Final position, we can set the time here on these large loomed hands. I do like the hands, they're legible. They kind of do match the applied markers, as you can see as well. And if you didn't notice, there's a little red tip on the chronograph hand here, which I think is matching. Actually, I think they did it to actually match this on the chapter ring, which is a nice little touch I noticed. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Screw it back in. Push it back in. And yeah, let's head over to the case back. So the case back, screwed down. Stainless steel with a nice spiral brushed finish. As you can see that, it's very nicely finished there. You get some specifications, sapphire crystal, your serial number, Victorinox, and Swiss Army. Pretty simple. Don't have a problem with it. Now this band on this watch is actually a genuine rubber strap. Victorinox only uses genuine rubber. They don't use any silicone or anything like that. And this one is actually really flexible. It's not that thin, like it's pretty, you can feel it, but it's really flexible. So I found that interesting. You also get two cutouts here for breathability once on the wrist if it's hot out. And yes, this is a really nice rubber strap. I was quite surprised by it. Haven't seen this one before. I do have a rubber strap on my other Victorinox timepiece, the officer's watch, which is pretty nice too. That one's a bit stiffer, but this one's really nice. As you can see, we get the logo there. If we head over to the back side, it does state 21, which is 21 millimeters. And then it also does state genuine rubber, as you can see there. Now the buckle itself is matching the case with the black blacked out over here, as you can see. And there are little knobs here for the keepers to hang on to, the first one. And it works well, I think. I think it looks really good. I think the style of the strap definitely matches the watch, as you can see. I think it came out pretty good there. Now right now I want to get you a lume shot. The lume is actually pretty good on this watch for a chronograph. Now chronographs are not famed for lume. Usually diving watches, that's where you see a lot of crazy lume and stuff, but the lume on this one is pretty decent, so let me show you that. Now here is the lume. As you see, it's not completely dark in here, but it's pretty bright. You can see the hands are a bit brighter than the markers and the Victorinox logo, but it certainly does not fade quickly, and it's a pretty decent luminova, glows green. You can see it a little better there. It's not bad there. So 44 millimeters on my 6.5 inch wrist, and it really doesn't wear too bad, guys. The lugs don't come out too far, and they kind of curve downward, as you can see there. So it really fits my 6.5 inch wrist just fine. As you can see, it's mainly dial, which you really need for a chronograph for reading those subdials. And it looks pretty good on wrist. It feels good. It's very slender at 11 millimeters. The strap is comfortable. Straight out of the box it conforms, which is nice to see from a genuine rubber strap. Some of the other rubber straps I've experienced, like the marathon rubber straps, those are really, really hard to break in. But this one is really soft and supple, straight out of the box, and you're good to go. Which is always nice. You want comfort out of the box, in my opinion, and I always like it better like that. It most certainly is a sporty watch, something you can wear while exercising, running, jogging, even swimming laps in your pool if you wanted to. Just don't start and stop that chronograph underwater. And yeah, I think all around, for the price, the quality is definitely there. Victorinox makes all the watches that I've experienced with Victorinox are always very good quality. They're very well put together. I've never really had any quality control issues with them. And as you can see, of course, it is Swiss made, stamped down there at the 6 o'clock position. So yeah, I think all around it's a pretty good watch. A lot of positives here. I like what they did here. I like the blacked out case with the gray dial and the sports style strap. And hey, if you're looking for one, definitely check them out in the description below. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this watch down in the comment section below as usual. And follow me on watchaddictchannel.com, at watchaddictchannel on Instagram. Hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.